learn with joy.
Hi, hello champions. Good morning. In this video, we are going to complete the balanced topics of the labor costing. We have done with the valuation and idle time and overtime. In this video, we are going to do number 1, basis to calculate the wages. Number 2, labor turnover ratios. Both are very, very important from the examination point of view. Okay, now let us start with the basis to calculate the wages. Please understand there are two bases. Number 1, time basis. Number 2, piece basis. When it comes to time basis, again we classify into two types: straight time rate basis, incentive schemes. When it comes to piece basis, we have only one method, that is piece based method. How to calculate the wages means simple: units produced into piece rate. Units produced into piece rate. When it comes to straight time rate basis, time taken into timely rate or hours worked into hourly rate. When it comes to incentive schemes, there are two incentive schemes. Number 1, Rowan scheme, and number 2, Halsey scheme. According to Rowan scheme, total earnings equals to basic wages plus bonus. Basic wages is time taken into time rate plus bonus formula time saved divided by time allowed into time taken into time rate. This is the bonus formula. When it comes to Halsey scheme, total earnings equal to basic wages plus bonus. Basic wages is time taken into time rate plus bonus is 50% of time saved into time rate. If you look at these two formulas, Rowan and Halsey, the only difference is bonus formula. What we need to remember is bonus formula. Bonus according to Rowan is proportion of time saved to time allowed into time taken into time rate. According to Halsey, it is 50% of the time saved, straight away flat rate. 50% of the time saved into time rate. These are the formulas and these are the different bases to calculate the wages. Many questions has been given based on this concept, but what you need to remember is these formulas. If it is straight time basis, time taken into time rate or hours worked into hourly rate, R, either of the formula can be used. Both are same. When it comes to incentive schemes, two formulas, Rowan, Halsey. When it comes to piece basis, production basis, produced into piece rate. Clear? Now, whenever you see the question based on Rowan scheme or Halsey scheme. Whenever you find the question based on Rowan scheme and Halsey scheme, the first thing what you need to calculate is three factors: time allowed, which is called time permitted by the management, time allowed. Number two, time taken. Number three, time saved. Out of these three, if you calculate two, we can arrive at the third one. If you know time allowed, time taken, we can calculate time saved. If you know time taken, time saved, we can calculate time allowed. If you know time allowed, time saved, you can calculate time taken. So, the moment you find the question based on Rowan and Halsey, the first thing what we need to arrive is these three factors. And then you need to know timely rate or Harley rate. If you know these four factors comfortably, you can solve the question. They will give you different types of questions in the examination just by manipulating the data. Don't get panic. The moment you look at the question based on Rowan and Halsey, find out these four factors. Comfortably you can solve any type of question. Okay, let us start solving the questions based on this. Question number 6. We're done with the question number 5 in the last video. Question number 6. Look at this. Calculate earnings of worker under Halsey system. They're asking to calculate earnings. They're asking to calculate earnings means basic wages plus bonus. Basic wages is hours worked into hourly rate or time taken into timely rate plus bonus according to Halsey scheme is 50% of time saved into timely rate. The relevant data is below. All the four factors given: timely rate, time allowed, time taken, time saved. Comfortably you can solve the question. Write the formula, substitute the values, you'll get the answer. Formula is time taken into time rate plus 50% of time saved into timely rate. We'll be getting total earnings 420. Total earnings 420. Also clear? Very simple question. Question number 7. Again, the same type of question under Halsey system. Earnings is basic wages plus bonus. Let me discuss only bonus formula. The formula for the bonus is 50% of time saved divided by time allowed into time taken into time rate. That is the formula for the bonus. They have written the same formula and substituted the values. Answer is 450. Okay, next. Question number 8 is somewhat important question. In this question, we have to form the equations to solve this question. They had given you information of the two workers and they have missed out the information of the material cost per unit and hourly rate. The requirement is to calculate hourly rate, material cost, normal rate of wages, rate of the wages or wage rate or hourly rate. First requirement is hourly rate, cost of material cost. They are asking to calculate material cost. These are the first two requirements. In this question, what I recommend is that take material cost as X, hourly rate as Y. They had given you factory cost. Look at the question. Two workmen A and B produce the same type of product using the same material. Two workers are producing same type of product using the same material. If it is same material cost will be same. We are going to take it as the X. Their normal wage rate is also the same. Wage rate is also same. That wage rate we are taking it as the Y. A is paid bonus according to Rowan's system. B is paid bonus according to Halsey system. The workers material is same, hourly rate is same, but bonus plan is different. A is working under Rowan system, whereas B is working under Halsey system. The time allowed to make the production is 50 hours. This 50 hours is the time allowed. Okay. A takes 30 hours, B takes 40 hours. These two are time taken. Using this information, we can calculate time saved to complete the product. The factory overhead rate is 5 rupees per man hour actually worked. How many hours A is working means 30 hours. How many hours B is working means 40 hours. If you multiply with 5, we'll get the overheads, factory overheads. They given the information of material, labor, overheads. Okay now. The factory cost for the product A is 3,490 and for the product B is 3,600. They had given the factory cost. We all know that. We all know that direct material, direct wages will get prime cost. Add factory overheads. Okay. Direct material plus direct wages will get prime cost. Add factory overheads will be getting factory cost. On this basis, we are going to make the calculations in terms of x and y, and we are going to get two equations. Solve the equations, we'll get the x value and y value. Okay, now look at this. Let x be the cost of material and y be the normal rate of wages per hour. Factory cost of workman A. Material cost, we taken it as x. When it comes to wages, he is under Rowan scheme. Total earnings is basic wages plus bonus. Basic wages is time taken into time rate. The time what he taken is 30 hours into time rate is x. Sorry, y. The time rate is y. 30y. Bonus is time saved divided by time allowed into time. Okay, let me write the formula. Time saved divided by time allowed into time taken into time rate. Time saved is 20 hours. Allowed is 50. Taken is 30. So 20 time saved divided by time allowed 50 into time taken 30 time rate y. If you do this calculation, we'll get 12y. Overheads, time taken into overhead rate. Time taken into overhead rate 150. We'll get factory cost 3,490. We'll be getting factory cost 3,490. Now, if you make a total x plus sum of these two is 42y plus overheads is 150, which should be equal to 3,490. If you rearrange this, x plus 42y equal to, if you reduce 150, 3,440. This is called as equation 1. If you take this same way we are calculating, we'll write the equation x plus, but the only change is bonus is under Halsey scheme. Bonus is under Halsey scheme. 50% of time saved into time rate. X plus 45y plus x plus 45y plus 200 plus 200 equals to 3,600. Now we can rearrange these values. X plus 45y equals to 3,400. This is equation number 2. If you solve these equations, we'll be getting x cost of material as 2,500, y 20 rupees. Let me solve that. X plus 42y equals to 3,440. X plus 42y equals to 3,440. X plus 45y equals to 3,400. If we solve this, change the sign. Minus, minus, minus. X will get cancelled. Minus 3y equals to, I think one small error. 3,340. It is not 3,340. X plus 42y equals to 3,340. Okay, fine. Here it is 3,340. So that it will become minus 60. Minus minus will get cancelled. Y equals to 20. Substitute y will get x value 2,500. And then if you look at the third requirement, they ask to prepare comparative statement. Just we are writing material, wages, bonus, factory overheads. and then we're writing the factory cost. Very simple question if you understand. In this question, two values are missing, material and wage rate. Take material as X, wage rate as Y. Form the two equations, solve the equations, we'll get the solution. Clear? Next. Illustration 9. Bonus paid under the Halsey plan with bonus at 50% for the time saved equals the bonus paid under Rowan system. When will this statement hold good? Your answer should contain the proof. Listen. Let me solve first requirement first. Bonus paid under Halsey plan with bonus at 50% of the time saved equals to Rowan system when the statement holds good. So what they mean to say, bonus under Halsey and bonus under Rowan when both will be same. And they are asking to prove by showing the calculation. Let me take the bonus under Halsey system. 50% of time saved into timely rate. Under Rowan system, time saved divided by time allowed into time taken into time rate. Now what I can do, let me cancel the common items. Time saved, time rate. If you cancel that, the final equation is time taken divided by time allowed equals to 50%. Time taken divided by time allowed equal to 50%. What is the meaning of this? If the time taken is exactly 50% of time allowed, the time taken is exactly 50% of time allowed, then bonus under Rowan and Halsey will be equal. All of you clear? This is the answer for the first one. Look at the second one. The time allowed for a job is 8 hours. The hourly rate is 8 rupees. Prepare a statement showing bonus earned, total earnings of employee, hourly earnings under Halsey system with 50% bonus for time saved, Rowan system for the each hour saved progressively. So please understand the time allowed is 8 hours, time the rate is 8 rupees. But now they are asking to calculate three things: bonus, total earnings, hourly earnings under Halsey and Rowan. Are you understanding? They are asking for both the methods, Halsey and Rowan. That two for each hour saved progressively. What is the meaning of this? Allowed is 8 hours. The first scenario is will take time saved equal to 1 hour. Second scenario is will take time saved equal to 2 hours. Third scenario is will take time saved equal to 3 hours. Like this, will take each hour saved progressively, means initially will take 1 hour saved, next 2 hours saved, 3 hours saved, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours saved. We cannot take 8 hours saved. If total time saved, how the production can happen? The maximum time that can be saved is 7 hours. By taking 7 different scenarios, we need to calculate bonus, total earnings, hourly earnings under Rowan scheme, Halsey scheme. As I told you, whenever it is Rowan and Halsey scheme, first we need to calculate time saved, time allowed, time taken. Are you understanding? In this scenario, time allowed is given 8 hours. So in all the 7 scenarios, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In all the 7 scenarios, time allowed is 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. Time saved is 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour, 5 hour, 6 hour, 7 hours. Time taken is here 8 is allowed, saved is 1 hour, taken is 7. 8 minus 2, 6. 8 minus 3, 5. 8 minus 4, 4. 8 minus 5, 3. 8 minus 6, 2. 8 minus 7, 1. We know time allowed, time taken, time saved, and then time rate is known. 8 rupees, 8 rupees, 8 rupees, 8 rupees, 8 rupees, 8 rupees. So we know all the factors. We can calculate bonus, we can calculate total earnings, we can calculate hourly earnings. How to calculate hourly earnings? Total earnings divided by hours worked. Total earnings divided by hours worked will get hourly earnings. We have to do it under Rowan scheme and then Halsey scheme. Sorry, Rowan scheme and then Halsey scheme. Clear? Okay, now look at here. Here they given time taken is 50% of time allowed, and here they given the scenarios. Okay, they have taken, okay, time allowed they taken 0 first. Okay, time saved they taken 0. then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At all the scenarios, they calculate the required things. Okay, now question number 10. A skilled worker in XYZ Limited is paid a guaranteed wage rate of 30 per hour. You can mark this question as important. Look at here. A skilled worker in XYZ Limited is paid a guaranteed wage rate of 30 per hour. We can call it as hourly rate. Guaranteed hourly rate. The standard time per unit for a particular product is 4 hours. Standard time is nothing but time allowed. Standard time is nothing but time permitted, which is called time allowed. Time allowed is 4 hours. Mr. P, a mission man, has been paid wages under Rowan incentive plan. He had earned effective hourly rate is 37.50 on the manufacture of that particular product. Effective hourly rate equals to total earnings divided by hours worked. Effective hourly rate. See, when it comes to earnings under Rowan scheme, he will be having basic wages and bonus. Add both, will get total earnings divided by hours worked. Will get earnings per hour, which is called as effective hourly rate. But company what is paying is 30 rupees. That is the hourly rate according to company. But what he is earning is 37.5. 7.5 rupees extra because of the bonus. So this 37.5, how they calculate means effective hourly rate equal to total earnings divided by hours worked. Now look at the question. Time allowed equal to 4. Okay. State, okay, let us look at the requirement. State what could have been his total earnings. They are asking total earnings and effective hourly rate had he been put in Halsey incentive scheme. So they are asking two things. Number one, total earnings, and again they are asking to calculate effective hourly rate if he is working under Halsey scheme. Now, to calculate total earnings, we all know that total earnings equal to basic wages plus bonus. Basic wages is time taken into timely rate. Bonus is time saved divided by time allowed into time taken into timely rate. Timely rate given in the question 30 rupees. Okay, now time allowed given 4. Time taken, let us take it as T. Time taken, let us take it as T. Now, listen. Which equals to total earnings time taken into time rate, that is T into timely rate is 30 plus bonus time saved. How to calculate time saved? Allowed minus taken, 4 minus T is the time saved divided by time allowed is 4 hours into time taken T into timely rate 30 whole divided by hours worked is time taken, that is T. Let us solve this equation. Okay, now effective hourly rate given in the question. Effective hourly rate given in the question 37.5. Therefore, 37.5 equal to 30T plus 4 minus T divided by 4 into 30T whole divided by T. What I can do? 37.5T equal to 30T plus 4 minus T divided by 4 into 30T. Now what we can do? 37.5T equal to 30T, take a common. If you take common, 1 minus 4 minus T, sorry, 1 plus 4 minus T divided by 4. So 37.5T equal to 30T into, if you take common, 4 plus 4 minus T divided by 4. Now, if you take this side, it will be into. Okay, 37.5T equals to 30T. Okay. Let me take this 4 this side, so that will become into 150t equals to 30t into 8 minus t. If you take this side, 150t divided by 30t equals to 8 minus t. T will get cancelled. 31 the 30 5 there. So t equal to 8 minus 5. So t equals to 3. That is what they calculated here. T equal to 3 hours. So time taken is 3 hours. Let us calculate the required things. What they are asking? Number one, total earnings. How to calculate total earnings? We know that hours worked into hourly rate into, and one more thing. They are asking total earnings and effective hourly rate under Halsey incentive scheme. To calculate this, we require time taken. We take it as T and we calculate 3 hours. 3 hours is the time taken. So time taken is 3, timely rate is 30 plus 50% of time saved. Time saved is 1 hour into, how to get 1 hour? Allowed is 4, saved is, sorry, taken is 3. So saved is 1. 50% of time saved into hourly rate 30. So which equals to 90 plus 0.5 into 30, 15, which equals to 105. That is what they are getting here. Effective hourly rate is 105 divided by time taken is 3 hours, 35. This is the answer for that question. Okay, next. This question is somewhat application oriented question. Now let us read the question. A factory having the latest sophisticated machines wants to introduce an incentive scheme for its workers, keeping in view the following. The entire gains of improved production should not go to the workers. In the name of speed, quality should not suffer. The rate setting department, being newly established, are liable to commit mistakes. You are required to prepare a suitable incentive scheme and demonstrate by an illustrative numerical examples how your scheme answers to all the requirements of the management. Okay, first of all, the answer to this question is they are asking suitable incentive scheme. In our syllabus, just we have only two incentive schemes, Rowan scheme, Halsey scheme. They given three conditions. The entire gain should not pass on to the worker. In the name of speed, quality should not get affected. The rate setting department, by any chance, mistakenly, if they fix a higher rate, there should not be more. The rate setting department, being newly established, are liable to commit mistakes. Suppose even if they commit the mistakes, it should not have more impact on the company. These are the three conditions. To satisfy these three conditions, the best scheme is Rowan scheme. Let me answer how it will be the Rowan scheme. Look at here. The entire gain of improved production should not go to the workers. Let me take an example. Time allowed is 4, time taken is 3, time saved is 1, and hourly rate is 5 rupees. Accordingly, if you calculate bonus, 1 hour saved into 5 rupees, actually the bonus should be 5 rupees. If you use the formula, how much we are getting, how much we are paying? 3.75. 5 rupees is the saved amount. 5 rupees is the saved amount, but paid amount is only 3.75. The benefit getting by the company is 1.25. So the entire benefit is not passed on to the worker. First condition satisfied. Okay. Look at the second point. In the name of speed, quality should not suffer. Please understand, under Rowan scheme, maximum bonus possible at 50%. Maximum bonus possible at 50%. If they work beyond 50%, if they work beyond 50% of time saved, maximum bonus 50% is what? Time saved. Time saved is 50% means then the maximum bonus is possible. If they are saving more than 50%, their bonus will be decreased. Their bonus will be decreased. Let me prove that. Look at this example. Look at the previous question. Bonus under Rowan scheme. Bonus under Rowan system. Bonus under Rowan system. When time saved is 1, bonus is 7 rupees. 2, 12 rupees. 3, 15 rupees. 4, 16 rupees. When it goes beyond 50%, 4 hours means exactly 50% of time allowed. More than 4, 5 divided by 8, it will be more than 50%. Bonus is only 15 rupees. It come down to 12, it come down to 7. So what the worker will do? Worker will try to maintain time saved as 50%, because so that he can make more bonus, or excess bonus. Are you understanding? So under Rowan scheme, see, if you take Halsey, bonus under Halsey, it will be keep on increasing. 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 20. It keep on increasing. Rowan scheme increases up to 50%. After that, again it get decreased. So because of this, we can maintain the quality. If you go by Halsey scheme, the workers will least bothered about the quality of the product. It will affect the quality. So Rowan scheme will give the maximum bonus at 50%. They'll try to maintain. They'll try to maintain time saved maximum 50%. They'll not go beyond that, because their bonus is coming down. Their bonus is decreasing. So that we can maintain the quality also. That is the second point. Third point, here they given that calculations are all. Okay. Yeah. Next. Here they give 2 hours is time taken. Maximum bonus possible is 5 rupees. Even if they say more than that, the maximum bonus will not be 5 rupees. See here, time taken is only 1 hour. By taking time taken 1 hour, they are getting 3.75, which is less than 5 rupees. Okay, now look at the third point. The rate setting department, being newly established, are liable to commit mistakes by mistakenly, if they fix the wrong rate. Under Rowan scheme, the entire benefit will not pass on to the worker. Look at here, they given the example. By mistake, they allowed 10 hours. They allowed 10 hours instead of 4 hours. Instead of 4 hours, they allowed 10 hours. In the above illustration, then the bonus paid is 10.5. Look at here, listen. Time allowed 10 hours. Time taken 3 hours. Time saved equal to 7 hours. If time saved is 7 hours, 7 into hourly rate 5 rupees, which equals to 35 rupees, is the total amount saved. But how much we are making payment is only 10.5. Out of 35, we are making payment of only 10.5. If you take Halsey, 50% of the time saved, that is 3.5 hours into 5 rupees, which equals to 17.5 rupees would have been paid. Paying 75 rupees, 17.5 bonus is better, or 10.5 bonus is better, means 10.5 bonus is better. For all the three conditions, Rowan scheme is better compared to Halsey scheme. We are going to advise the company to follow the Rowan scheme. Look at here. So that is what they are asking. You are required to prepare suitable incentive scheme. The suitable incentive scheme to satisfy the three conditions is Rowan scheme. That is the answer for this question. Okay, next. Question number 12. Now, look at this question. The worker is paid 10,000 rupees per month and a dearness allowance of rupees 2,000 rupees per month. Worker contribution to provident fund is 10%, and the employer also contribute the same amount as the employee. Employee state insurance corporation premium is 6.5% of the wages, of which 1.75% is paid by the employee. It is the firm practice to pay 2 months wages as bonus for each year. Number of working days in a year are 300 of 8 hours each. Out of these, the worker is entitled 15 days leave on full pay. Calculate the wage rate per hour for costing purpose. So they are asking to calculate wage rate for costing purpose. When it comes to costing purpose, we need to consider CTC. How to calculate CTC means total earnings plus employer contribution to PF and ESI. If you make total of this, we'll be getting CTC. CTC divided by hours worked will get wage rate. Let us see how to calculate CTC. Look at here. In a month, they are getting 10,000 rupees as basic pay and 2,000 rupees as DNS allowances, 12,000 rupees per month. 12,000 rupees per month. Into 12 months, total earnings is not total earnings. Okay, total earnings is 1,44,000. He is getting only DNS allowance, basic wages. So basic wages plus DNS allowance 1,44,000 is the total earnings. In addition to this, they are getting bonus of 2 months. Each month 12,000. So 12,000 into 2 months. This is the total earnings. This is the bonus. Okay, let me call it as earnings. Okay, let me call it as basic wages plus DNS allowance. Basic wages plus DNS allowance. Bonus is 12,000 into 2, which equals to 24,000. Total earnings is 1,68,000. To this add PF of employer, ESI of employer. See, PF is 10%. 10% of the basic wages. Look at here. Basic wages plus DNS allowances. So 1,44,000 into 10%, 14,400. ESI is total contribution is 6.5%, out of which 1.75% is paid by the employee. 1.75% is paid by the employee. Balance amount will be paid by employer. So 6.5 minus 1.75 will get 4.75%. 1,44,000 into 4.75% will be getting the value. Look at here. 4.75%, 6,840. If you make a total 1,89,240. This is the CTC to the company. CTC divided by hours worked. Totally working days is 300 of 8 hours each. Out of which worker is entitled 15 days leave on full pay. So 300 minus 15, totally he is working only 285 days into 8 hours. Look at here. 285 into 8 hours, 2,280. 1,89,240 divided by 2,280 will be getting 83 rupees. Are you understanding? Here they are asking wage rate. So we need to calculate CTC, cost to the company. We already discussed. If you have any doubt, please watch the last video. I clearly explained the difference between CTC, total earnings, net earnings. Okay, now illustration 13. Calculate employee hourly rate of worker X. Here they are asking employee hourly rate. They are not asking the company's cost. They are asking employee earnings or employee hourly rate. How to calculate employee hourly rate? Total earnings of employee divided by hours worked. In previous question, CTC divided by hours worked. Here it is total earnings divided by hours worked. Okay. From the following, basic pay 10,000, DNS allowances 3,000, fringe benefits 1,000. Number of working days in a year 300, 20 days went off as holiday and full pay in a year. Assume 8 hours. Simply what we can do, make a total of this. Total comes to 14,000 per month into 12. We'll be getting total earnings divided by hours worked. Out of 300 days, 20 days holiday. 280 days he is working, each day 8 hours. Look at the calculation. 280 into 8 hours, 2,240 hours. They're making the total and they're taking 1,68,000. So 1,68,000 divided by 2,240, 75. These two questions given just to get the clarity between CTC and total earnings. When it comes to worker, he'll take total earnings. When it comes to company, they'll take CTC as the base. Clear? Okay, now before doing the question number 14, let us understand. Let us understand labor turnover ratios. Look at this. Labor turnover ratios. There are three methods. Number one, separation method, replacement method, and then flux method. Separation method, number of separations. First of all, what is separation method? The employees who get separated from the organization. The separation can happen for any reason. It can be for any reason. It can be because of death, accident, voluntary retirement, shifting to some other company, discarded due to misbehavior. It can be because of any reason. We are going to take it as separation. Replacement. After separation, whatever the vacancy created, replacing the employees is called replacement. When it comes to replacement, new joinings will not form part of the replacement. It is just filling the vacancies. Filling the vacancies is the replacement. New joinings will not be considered as replacement. All of you clear? Flux method is the average of these two. Look into the formulas. Separation method, number of separations divided by average number of employees. How to calculate average number means employees at beginning plus employees at ending divided by 2. Opening employees plus closing employees divided by 2. You will get average number of employees. Replacement method, number of replacement divided by average number of employees into 100 to convert into percentage. Clear? Now, flux method, I will write three formulas. Number one, number of separations plus number of replacements divided by average number of employees. Second method, number of separations plus number of replacements plus number of new joinings divided by average number of employees. Third one, number of separations plus, if you add replacement and new joinings, they given the name called as the number of accessions divided by average number of employees. These are the three formulas to calculate the flux method. Are you understanding? These turnover ratios helps to take certain decisions in the organization. How it will be helpful? Let me take an example. Separation method is giving 10%, replacement method is giving 4%. What indication that we can make from this means separation is 10%, means people leaving the organization is 10%, whereas replacement is only 4%. What is happening? There is a gap of 6%. If it continues like this over a period of time, there will be labor deficiency. Looking at this, management has to take necessary actions to increase the replacement. They have to change the policies, employee policies in the organization. They need to identify why many people are leaving and why the new people are not joining into the organization. Due to what reason? Is it because of work culture or is it because of payment issues? There are multiple factors they need to analyze, and accordingly they need to make the changes of the employee policies. When it comes to flux method, it will give overall picture. Of the organization. Flux method is on an average of both separation and replacement. Both involve cost to the organization. When the people are getting separated, there will be some cost incurred by the organization. For replacement also, the company is going to incur the cost. Replacement, they need to conduct the interviews. They need to pay the joining bonus. They need to give the training for the new employees. All these are the cost of replacement. Separation, when the people are getting separated, the company has to pay gratuity. There will be settlement cost. Both will involve the cost. The management will try to make flux ratio 0. If flux ratio is 0, what is the meaning of that? No separations, no replacements. If there is no separation, no replacement, huge cost have been saved to the organization. According to flux method, 24, 25, 25, 26. 24, 25, 12%, 25, 26, it is 7%. The management will be so happy. From 12%, they decrease it to 7%. So, cost, labor turnover cost. First of all, what is labor turnover? Rotation of employees. Old people leaving the organization, new people joining the organization. If this rotation come down, the labor turnover cost will comes down. As I told you, different cost elements will be involved. Settlement cost, training cost, recruitment cost. One more very important thing is due to labor turnover, the company will lose the production. The company will lose the production. Sir, why the company will lose the production? Person left the organization, but to fill the vacancy, it took 20 days. It took 20 days to fill the vacancy. During these 20 days, the company is going to lose the production. Or company left the organization, new person joined. The efficiency of the new person joined is only 50%, but old worker is working at 100%. Yeah, it happens with every organization. Whenever the person joins newly, it will take some time to settle in the organization. During that time, he can give only 50% efficiency. It may take 3 months, 2 months time to settle in the organization. After that, he'll give 100%. But for the 2 months, he is working at 50% capacity. So the company is losing the production. Balance 50% has been lost. Unproductive hours. Are you understanding? So ultimately what we need to learn is there are three methods: separation method, replacement method, flux method. Using the formulas, we need to calculate the ratios. Whatever the analysis that I have explained you may not come in the examination. Just for the clarity sake, I explained this. Just for conceptual understanding, I explained this. If they give you application oriented question, we can think like this. Let us solve the questions based on this. Look at the question number 14. The accountant of Y Limited has computed employee turnover rates for the quarter ended 31st March 2023 as 10%, 15%, 3% respectively under flux method, replacement method, separation method. So flux method is 10%, replacement method is 5%, separation method is 3%. If the number of workers replaced during the quarter is 30, find out the number of workers for the quarter. Recruited and joined, left and discharged, equivalent employee turnover rates for the year. Now look at here. Average number of workers on roll for the quarter. Employee turnover rate using replacement method. We all know the formula: number of replacements divided by average number of workers on roll. The given number of replacements 30, replacement percentage is 5%. 5 divided by 100, which equals to 30 divided by average number of enrolled. So we are getting average number of employees 600. Average number of employees 600. Okay, now number of workers recruited and joined. Please understand, recruited and joined. Okay, number of workers recruited and joined. So to answer this, we are going to take flux method. Flux method is recruited and joined. Together we can call it as accessions. Flux method equal to number of separations plus number of accessions divided by average number of employees. Flux method given in the question 10%, 10 divided by 100 equal to number of separations. Okay. Number of to answer this, first we need to calculate number of separations. Left and discharge, which is called as separations. It's very simple to calculate number of separations. Look at here. Separation method equal to number of separations divided by average number of employees. Separation method is 3%. 3 divided by 100 equal to number of separations divided by average number of employees 600. So if you solve this, if you solve the 2 zeros will get cancelled. 6 into 3, 18. Number of separations equal to 18. Use this 18 to answer this. So number of separations is 18. Look at here. Number of separations is 18 plus number of accessions divided by average number of employees 600. 2 zeros will get cancelled. So number of accessions plus 18 equal to 10 into 6, 60. Number of accessions equal to 60 minus 18, which equals to 42. That is what the recruitments and new joinings. So that is the two requirements what we calculated. And they are asking equivalent employee turnover rate for the year. The entire calculation what we done is for the quarter. So look at here. During the quarter. Everything what we calculated is for the quarter. They are asking for the year. How to calculate for the year? 10% is for the quarter. Now look at here. For the year it is 40% into 4. 5% into 4, 20%. 3% into 4, 12%. So this is for the annum. Okay, next. Look at the question number 15. One of the important question. The management of BR Limited is worried about their increasing employee turnover in the factory, and before analyzing the causes and taking remedial steps, it wants to have an idea of the profit foregone as a result of employee turnover. What they are asking is profit lost because of employee turnover. Whatever the cost incurred towards employee turnover, that will decrease the profit. So to answer this question, first we need to calculate cost towards employee turnover. To that extent, the profit has been lost, which is called a profit foregone. Let us see what are the costs incurred towards labor turnover. Look at here. Last year sales amounted to 83,03,300. PV ratio was 20%. Total number of actual hours worked by the direct employee force is 4.45 lakhs. The actual direct employee hours included 30,000 hours attributable to training new recruits. So please understand, the actual hours worked is 4.45 lakhs. This includes 30,000 hours worked by the training people. This 4.45 lakhs includes 30,000 which is worked by training people. But what they mentioned, out of which half of the hours were unproductive. So what is the meaning of this? 30,000 hours worked by the training people. Half of the time is unproductive and half of the time is productive. Half of this is 15,000 hours and half of this is 15,000 hours. So this unproductive hours has to be removed from the 4.45 lakhs. The effective productive hours, I can call it as productive hours, equal to 4.45 lakhs minus 4.45 lakhs minus unproductive of 15,000. Unproductive of 15,000. Effective productive hours is 4,30,000 hours. During this productive hours of 4,30,000, what is the sales that they are able to achieve is 83,03,300. Clear till now? Next. As a result of delay. So first point is regarding training people. Now they are giving the point regarding result of delay in filling the vacancies. As a result of delay by the personnel department in filling vacancies due to employee turnover, 1 lakh potentially productive hours excluding unproductive training hours were lost. So excluding the unproductive training time, totally 1 lakh productive hours has been lost due to delay in filling the vacancies. Now the point is, total lost in hours is 1 lakh plus 15,000. 1,15,000 hours has been lost. So please understand, 83,03,300 rupees sales made by working for 4,30,000 hours. What is the loss in sales by losing 1,15,000 hours? By losing 1,15,000 hours, what is the loss means? We can cross multiply that and we'll get the sales lost. The sales lost is not the loss. What is the loss to the organization means? Contribution lost. How to calculate contribution? Contribution equal to sales into PVR. PVR given in the question 20%. Are you understanding? Now the point is sales last. How much is the sales last? Look at here. 4,30,000 productive, 1,15,000 unproductive. The sales last is 4,44,130. Sorry, contribution. The sales last is 22 lakh 20,650. As how we discussed, they did the cross multiplication. 22 lakh 20,650 into PV ratio of 20%. We'll be getting loss is 4 lakh 44,130 is the contribution lost, which is the loss due to labor turnover. Okay, next. Apart from this, there is some other cost incurred by the company. The cost incurred consequent to employee turnover revealed on analysis the following: settlement cost due to leaving 43,820, recruitment cost 26,740, selection cost 12,750, training cost 30,490. If you make a total, see, assuming that the potential production loss as a consequence of employee turnover could have been sold at prevailing prices. So whatever the production lost, they are asking to assume that the company would have been sold at prevailing prices, so that the contribution PV ratio is not going to change. If there is no change in sale price, there will be no change in the PV ratio. Okay, find the profit foregone last year on account of employee turnover. What is the profit loss? Contribution lost of 4,44,130, and the settlement cost, recruitment cost, selection cost, training cost. Total cost is 5,57,930, which we are going to account it as the profit foregone. Are you clear about this? Next, illustration 16. This is straightforward question. Aditya Limited is an engineering manufacturing company producing job order on the basis of specification given by the customers. During the last month, it has been completed 3 job works, namely A, B, C. Following are the items of expenditures which are incurred apart from direct material, direct employee cost. They given list of expenses. Totally 6 items given. Required. Calculate direct expenses attributable to each job. Please understand the meaning of the direct expenses: expense incurred specifically to the job. Whatever the expense incurred specifically to the job, that is called as direct expense. If some other than direct expense, everything is indirect expenses. Look at the given information. Office and administration cost is not a direct expense because it is not specifically incurred for the job. Product blueprint cost for job A, 1,40,000 is a direct expense specifically incurred for the job A. That too, blueprint cost. It is not a material, it is not a labor, it is an expense. What expense? Direct expense. Why? Because specifically incurred for the job A. Next, hire charges paid for machinery used for job work B. So hiring charges of the machinery, one of the expenditure specifically incurred for the job B, so it's a direct expense. Salary of office attendant, general expense, not a direct expense, indirect expenses. One-time license fee paid for software used to make computerized graphics for job C, specifically incurred for job C, direct expense. Salary paid to marketing manager is not a direct expense. So these 3 are the direct expenses. That is what they given. So by this, we're done with the illustrations. Practical questions. So simple questions are there, but one question is important. I'll solve that question. Question number 1. Question number 1 is important. I'll solve that. Remaining questions you can manage. Very simple questions. Look at the question number 1. Mr. A is working by employing 10 skilled workers. He is considering the introduction of some incentive scheme, either Halsey scheme with 50% bonus or Rowan scheme of wage payment for increasing the employee productivity to cope with the increased demand for the product by 25%. He feels that if the proposed incentive scheme could bring about an average 20% increase over the present earnings of the worker, it could act as sufficient incentive for them to produce more, and he has accordingly given this assurance to the workers. So, what is the question is, Mr. A is the person is recruiting 10 skilled workers and doing some tasks. What happened? Now he is considering to implement the incentive scheme, either Rowan or Halsey. Either Halsey or Rowan. Why? Because he require more production. How much he require more? Why? First of all, he require more production. Why he want more production? Because there is an increase in demand by 25%. Demand increases 25%. Now, what he planned, let us implement the incentive schemes where it can compensate. He is thinking himself that if we are able to compensate employees with 20% increase in wages, it is sufficient for him. If the 20% increase is sufficient for the workers to give the output excess by 25%. So the planning is very simple. Let us increase the wages by 20% so that they can deliver the work which can increase the production by 25% so that he can satisfy the demand. That is what he is thinking. Are you understanding now? As a result of assurance, and one more thing, he assured this 20%. He assured the 20% to the workers. Based on his assurance, the productivity has started increasing, and he observed that the following figures for the current month. The production started increased according to the assurance of the Mr. A. Now he given certain facts. What are the facts given? Hourly rate of wages guaranteed (HR). Hourly rate. Average time for producing one piece by one worker at the previous performance. According to previous performance. Previous performance means before implementing the incentive schemes. Before implementing incentive schemes, for every one piece, they'll take 2 hours. Now, what they're mentioning, this may be taken as the time allowed. So, time allowed for each piece is 2 hours, which is based on the previous performance. Next, number of working days in a month 25. Number of working hours per day for each worker 8. Actual production during the month 1250 units. This is the details given. Required. Calculate effective rate of earnings per hour under Halsey scheme, Rowan scheme. They are asking rate of earnings per hour. How to calculate rate of earnings per hour? Total earnings divided by hours worked. Total earnings divided by hours worked will get hourly rate of Halsey scheme, hourly rate of Rowan scheme. How to calculate total earnings? Time taken, that is basic wages, time taken into time rate plus, let me discuss Halsey scheme. 50% of time saved into timely rate. As I told you, we need to calculate time allowed, time taken, time saved. Time allowed. How many products they produce? 1250 units. So time allowed equal to 1250 into 2 hours per unit, which equals to 2500 hours. That is the time allowed. Time taken. How many hours taken? Days 25. Hours per day 8 hours. 25 into 8. It comes to 25 days in a month into 8 hours per day for each worker. This is for each worker. 25 into 8, 200 into, okay, let me write the calculation. 25 days into 8 hours into how many workers? 10 workers are working. If you do the total calculation, we'll be getting 2000 time taken, time saved equal to 500. We know all the factors. Hourly rate or timely rate. Hourly rate or timely rate is 40. We can calculate the total earnings. Divide by time taken of 2000. We'll get the hourly rate. Look at the calculation. 2000. Total wage, total time of 10 workers. That comes to, okay, time wages 80,000. Okay, time saved per month 500 hours. Next, bonus and a Halsey scheme 10,000. So total earnings 80,000. How it is 80,000? Hours worked 2,000. Hourly rate 40. 80,000 plus bonus is 10,000. 90,000 divided by hourly rate. Bonus under Rowan scheme 80,000, 16,000, 96,000. Hourly rate is 90,000 divided by 2,045. 96,000 Rowan scheme. When it comes to Rowan scheme, 96,000 divided by 2,000, 48. Okay. So that is the first requirement. Look at the second requirement. Calculate savings to Mr. A. Look at the second requirement. Calculate savings to Mr. A in terms of direct labor cost per piece under the schemes. They are asking savings to Mr. A in terms of direct level ka per piece basis. Okay. Now savings to Mr. A. Presently, he does not have any incentive schemes. He does not have any incentive schemes. What is the present piece rate? What is the present piece rate means? Look at here. Each piece require 2 hours. Hourly rate is 40 rupees. 2 hours into 40 rupees, which equals to 80 rupees per piece. 80 rupees per piece. This is the present rate. Present rate in the sense before implementing the incentive schemes. 80 rupees per piece. After implementing incentive schemes, let me discuss Halsey scheme. Under Halsey scheme, total payment is 90,000 divided by product produced is 1,250. 90,000 divided by 1,250. Let me calculate that. It's not coming. I'll show the calculation here. See, employee cost fees under time based scheme 80 rupees. Under Halsey scheme 90,000 divided by 1,250 72 rupees. Here he is bearing 80 rupees. Now it is costing only 72 rupees. Savings is 8 rupees. Same way under Rowan scheme 96,000 divided by 1,250 76.80 savings is 3.20. Okay, these are the important questions from the labor costing. So go through this video and try to practice by yourself one time. After solving these questions, try to do some questions from the RTPs and MTPs, which will be helpful. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. By this, labor costing is completed. I am going to come up with one more video which is based on the overheads chapter. Thank you so much.